Right. Okay. Good day, colleagues. So we are Group 5, and we'll start with the summary of the key takeaways from the Digital Maturity Survey. So we noted a few areas in which Group 5 scored below industry average. These factors are they're highlighted in black. So they are the first three factors linked to the leadership and strategy dimension, with our lowest score in digitally aligned culture. For the most part, for the rest of the areas, Group 5 is above industry average. So this tells us that overall, the results show we're in a strong competitive position, as the results show an overall high score in maturity. This can be seen as well in the digital maturity archetypes model, as Group 5 is in the Digirati, which means digital masters block on the top right. And it's actually scored, has one of the highest scores in terms of digital application and impact. So all of this indicates a strong overall vision, excellent governance across business areas, and an organization that's able to run digital initiatives, generating business value in measurable ways. So we also note that there's a greater number of industry players which have digitally matured, with Group 7 being the leader. So this indicates there are a lot of digital masters who are successfully managing this process for actual revenue. Then, so let's talk about the just motivating for the digital vision, or the 2B. So on the conceiving stage of the consolidated transformation framework, there's a strong focus on crafting vision and strategy. So for Group 5, this process included crystallizing organizational ideology, which included making our vision, purpose, mission, and transformational objectives clear, which is also known as BAGs, or big, hairy, audacious goals. So our digital vision is informed by the digital survey results. For example, we scored lowest on digitally aligned culture. So our vision needs to look at how we incorporate digitally aligned culture sub-factors. So for example, in our values, we've put collaboration culture. We've included innovation as our value because it speaks to organizational learning, exploration, and experimentation, which is also part of the sub-factors for digitally aligned culture. So overall, our vision is to become the #1 digital bank in our chosen markets we operate in, through offering affordable and accessible financial solutions to customers and delivering overall value to relevant stakeholders, which includes shareholders, customers, and the communities we operate in. So I'm going to hand over to my colleague, who's going to take us through the digital vision to be.
Looking at the results, we have noted that there's 3 areas that we are struggling, that my colleague has spoken about: the digital vision and strategy, aligned culture, as well as the organization and governance. However, we also noted that even though we are above our competitors on other areas, we are still below the industry target. As such, those ones are highlighted in gray, and the ones that are problematic, those are the ones in red, looking at the current as is. And then in future, we are planning to enhance those factors by improving them in these areas that are highlighted in red. And then the blue ones are the ones that we are still happy. Thank you. You can move over to the next line.
So in addressing the key gaps of the as-is, firstly, we looked at the first item that talks to digital vision and strategy. What highlighted there is, in terms of major investments, are specifically allocated to digital transformation, which is we scored low on that item. And The reasons for that gap is there is a chaotic emergent strategy where different departments within the bank might have different views on digital goals, leading to misalignment. And usually this also leads to execution challenges in terms of translating strategies into actionable plans. And inadequate leadership support also may lead to extended commitment to significant resources, specifically when there is budget costs. The next item talks to digital alignment, aligned culture. We scored low on this item as well as those three key items talking to the approach to risk taking, organizational learning, as well as working with an organization. The reasons for that is that the banks work within strict governance and regulations, making it difficult for the organization to do experimental work, especially when there's minimal risk that need to be taken, such as areas that deals with payments and collections, where there could be loss of profits if certain decisions or certain sign-off has not been provided. So there is also a certain level of authorization that is required in certain processes in order for certain processes to be executed because of the organization structure level hierarchy. The last item on this key gaps identifies organizational and governance. Also, we identified three items which highlight the decentralization of all operation decisions. As we know, that in the banks, the bank operates in siloed. For example, where you will have vehicle and asset finance department working separately to a home loans or to a transactional banking department. So this usually impacts the seamless integration of digital initiative across different departments. And also lack of assigned digital investment or proper strategy to enable skills development, because when you continue to work on silos operations, it makes it difficult for the investment to be put in place in order for a proper strategy to take place. Also, siloed department focus approach. Also, what we're finding is that in banks, there's departmental focus in terms of what they wanted to achieve, which is mainly different to the other departments, where you look at the different department having different deliverables to focus on. So yeah, that's the key gaps that we identified.
Okay, thanks, Lawrence. Good morning, everyone. So from a roadmap perspective, before jumping into the various steps or the granular steps, it's important to start off with what we're trying to achieve. And based on what we've identified in the survey, the three maturity factors where we do have room for improvement include digital vision and strategy, digitally aligned culture, as well as organization and governance. And based on those, we've broken the model up in swim lanes, and here you'll see change leader journey, people journey. Wait, this doesn't have the latest. Sorry, this doesn't have the latest slide. But okay, and we've identified which action items need to take place in each of these phases, ranging from awaken, conceive, plan up until the new normal. Yeah, so if you drill down, we've based on the notes, we've highlighted the relevant steps, and those are listed here. Apologies, this slide doesn't have the latest version, which has detail on the program journey. So I will update it. Apologies for that. If you go on to the next slide. There we go. So yeah, and here you can see for any project, the program journey is crucial, and you'll see there's much more meat in that section, because that would drive the success of the digital implementation. Thank you. If you go to the next slide. In terms of portfolios, we've broken that up in portfolio, program, and projects. So we've identified 3 projects here, which is aligned to the leadership and architecture, the broader theme. And these include vision, include the org governance, as well as the digitally aligned culture. And we've also identified which layers in the organization would carry out or would be mainly responsible for those specific projects. Thank you. And then, I forgot about this slide. Lastly, so although we've identified our biggest gaps, I do feel that there are areas to improve. So yes, we've touched on the biggest gaps, but here are additional areas that we can do for continuous, or we can focus on with regards to continuous improvement. So, for example, recruiting new digital skills and upskilling existing ones. We did rank high in that category, but I believe us and as well as any other organization, there is room for improvement. So yeah, we've just listed those here. Thank you. I think we are over time, so I won't go into much detail here on the slide.
Okay, thanks for that. Yeah, okay.